Hey, it's Mike Matthews. This month, Pam and I are celebrating 35 years of our anniversary, but we also decided to celebrate 35 years of transformation. Why? Well, you see, 35 years ago, Pam and I met around what was classified in the day as the world's most expensive love seat. That's right, on the Cray Research supercomputer that bench below the top columns of the supercomputer was known as the love seat. Underneath that was some power, and that's where Pam and I met 35 years ago. So as we celebrate our 35th anniversary, we're saying let's celebrate the fact that we've committed 35 years of our life to help in education and technology combined. And what does it look like over 35 years, and where's the next few years going to take us? We're excited about our wedding anniversary, but also about all the change that technology has brought. In fact, the Cray Research supercomputer had the many different colors, whatever the customer wanted for a color on the skins of the supercomputer they purchased. It was mesmerizing in its day, but let me tell you, so was Pam. She still is mesmerizing. 35 years later, our marriage is strong, healthy, but so is the technology field. So the fastest supercomputer on Earth back in that day could do 240 million calculations per second. You can see under the love seat was the power that powered the supercomputer, and then the circuitry in the columns of that supercomputer. Now behind that was where Pam worked at Cray. She did some of the wiring, or a lot of the wiring of the supercomputer. I mean, a whole team of people did, of course. But there were 60 miles of wire behind that, and it was in a circular fashion, so the circuit had less distance to travel between the different modules because of the circular shape of the supercomputer. It was ingenious in its day. It's still genius today, in fact, but 60 miles of wire, and that's where Pam and I met. So here we are in the year 2022, and powered up just a few months ago was now the Cray Research Frontier computer. Cray now is owned by Hewlett-Packard, but they're still in existence, strong as ever, and they now have the fastest supercomputer once again. In fact, the Cray Frontier is now faster than all the next fastest supercomputers combined. That's pretty fast. Well, how fast is that? Well, it's able to do 11 quadrillion calculations per second. That would be 11 billion billions per second. That's pretty incredible compared to 240 million 35 years ago. Now, what does all this mean? Well, it means that things are accelerating like people never thought possible. In all the years of exploration on computers, now I think proves a lot of discovery that people only could imagine years ago. In fact, just last week, a breakthrough in cancer research, unheard of. It was documented in a medical journal that for the first time ever, the 12 patients, not that were 12, but it could have been 20, but it was 12 in this case, 100% cured of rectal cancer without radioactive treatment or chemotherapy. Now, that's pretty cool. That can take place today, but what's unique about that, in my opinion, is Pam and I enjoying 35 years of the technology field of our marriage, but look at the results. We're all done on a Cray, or a supercomputer, excuse me, not a Cray, could have been a Cray, but it's the 29th fastest supercomputer in the world. Now, what's the Cray now? The fastest again, and faster than the next 7. In other words, it's way more advanced than even this supercomputer that was used to discover this cure for rectal cancer. So Pam and I believe after 35 years, we're going to see the knowledge and discovery that has been used for the last 35 years exponentially grow. It's going to accelerate beyond what we ever thought possible. And we're finally going to see cures for all kinds of things, remedies for things we never thought possible. Now, here's an example. Our granddaughter, Briella, is 8 years old now. And when she was 2 years old, she had a severe orthopedic surgery take place on her limb. Today, she can actually watch that take place in virtual reality. In fact, the gentleman with the virtual reality glasses is Dr. Peter Armstrong, President Emeritus of all the Shriner Hospitals, teaching our granddaughter about pediatric orthopedics. And she's actually enjoying it at 8 years of age. Those pair of virtual reality glasses includes a minimum of 4 college degrees within them, but it's training people how to do orthopedic surgery. Nobody thought this was possible. And so we've witnessed now in 35 years the advancement of technology which impacts education. And so as we take a look at the mental health issues of our day, Just recently documented, I was one of the authors in a medical journal along with Dr. Jason Beeman of how a mirror can now self-diagnose depression or anxiety. It's a breakthrough. But now imagine with 11 quadrillion calculations per second, how that advances in ways we never thought possible. In the early days of virtual reality, there's myself talking about blockchain, artificial intelligence, and many other things. And now that virtual reality is so impactful in education, not just because of what I was involved with, but other people as well, that they all saw the value in education, all saw the value in technology, but bringing those together so that the world begins to change in ways people didn't think possible. In fact, last December, the Federal Drug Administration approved virtual reality for the remedy for lower chronic back pain, unheard of, and they advise it over opioid drugs. Now, I feel blessed to be even part of that. That virtual reality is that mind-altering that it's better than opioid drugs, which kills about 110 people a day through drug overdose. 50% of those deaths, 115 a day, are by prescription drugs called opioids. And now all of a sudden the FDA says there's a safer method called virtual reality. People say, how's that possible? Well, it's simple. Opioid drugs and many other mind-altering drugs are only that, mind-altering. But so is education or virtual reality that educates you different, puts you in a different realm that you didn't think possible. In fact, the world has 14 different dimensions and we're only exploring 3. And so you can imagine the future with the speed up of supercomputer technology if we use it correctly. So here we have again, seniors enjoying their life by taking photos from their childhood or their family years and looking at those in virtual reality, having enjoyment and forgetting about the pain, the chronic pain that they have. We're privileged to be part of education, leveraging all the technology that's available in the world today. So what does it all mean? It means that the knowledge that people have been sharing through books, Pam and I have written many books. We've also been part of authoring many different journals / articles about education technology. And what does it mean when you take technology, tie the human heart to it, and the world changes for people? The world begins to be educated in ways never thought possible. So it all leads us to this place that we believe in the next few years will change everything. You see, I no longer need to talk about blockchain, artificial intelligence, or all the pieces of technology because all the calculations of a supercomputer or the benefits of virtual reality now get wrapped into something called the metaverse. We now live in a hyper-connected world in ways we never thought possible. So this metaverse takes the technology but starts bringing people inside of that. Imagine the day when we're not just thinking about the fastness or impressiveness of technology, but people are actually enjoying the outcome of what it's capable of doing. We know that is the metaverse, and that's the acceleration that will take place. And so the greatest love seat that Pam and I met on, called the Cray Research Love Seat, was good, but there's something far better. We believe that through harmony with each other, through love for each other, respect for each other, and honor through each other, there's a far greater place than just a supercomputer power. It's the power of the human heart. When we decide to love each other, respect each other, and I'm not talking just Pam and I because we're celebrating 35 years of marriage, I'm talking about people around the world. When we decide to do that, we influence the world like we never thought possible. So what I'm saying is this, that 35 years later, we're witnessing the fact that technology advancement, along with educational advancement, along with the human behavior advancement, if you choose to use it, changes everything. The love of humanity is something special. Pam and I have witnessed that for 35 years. Pam is still magnificent. She's still the love of my life. But the fact is, I can love myself. I can love other people the same way. So can you. You know, Pam and I chose a long time ago not to get caught up in debates about politics and political parties and everything else. Why can't we leverage the value of the human heart, the value of technology, and learn to respect and honor each other? It's a wonderful place to be. You know, but most of all, we honor the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And therefore, God lets us do things we never thought possible. Education has changed our life. It can change yours as well. God bless you. And happy anniversary, Pam, but happy anniversary to Cray Research. Breakthrough technology with 11 quadrillion calculations per second on that Cray Frontier supercomputer.